I'm not sure how to address you fellows, so chairman, deputy vice chairman, and supervisors. My name's Larry Vincent. I'm the individual Mr. Cavanaugh met with us last August. A year ago, we started a volunteer fire department as a direct result of being informed we had no coverage. I've only lived in the area for 2 years. I moved from Mesa out here, so let's say I was a bit aghast when my neighbor's house caught fire and the Oro Valley Golder Ranch district responded to my neighbor's fire. I'm a design engineer for Boeing in Mesa, and so we're constantly bombarded with safety and fire conditions at the Apache plant. We embarked on a very lengthy path pursuing some legal counsel. November 2020, we filed the Articles of Incorporation through the Arizona Board of Commission. December, we applied for 501c status. January, unfortunately, we had our first fire down at Cactus Forest in 79. We had just procured our first truck from the Bowie Fire Department that they had gotten a grant from the Gary Sinise Foundation, and so they were able to surplus a truck to us very affordably, and that started the wheels in motion. We met with the county. The county now has us in the 911 system, and there's a fire south of town on 79 all the way to the Tom Mix Memorial. That's tied into the county's CAD system, and we have a dedicated phone line that they call, and that dispatches us. In the last year, we've acquired 5 vehicles. The Chiricahua Trails Fire District and Chiricahua went defunct, and they donated 2 vehicles in April. We sell T-shirts, anything we can to scrape and scrap. We do I think it's the last Friday of the month, the third Friday of the month here in town, where they do the vendor thing, where we just try to make people publicly aware that south of the canal, we have some kind of fire coverage. We have 14 individuals who are properly geared, albeit hand-me-downs, coming from the hills of Kentucky. Hand-me-downs were new clothes where I came from. So we graciously and gladly take this, anything that folks do to help us. We were afforded a grant from the State Fire School, and they sent 5 of us to the Scottsdale Fire Academy for a week in September. From there, we met 28 different chiefs, captains from Gilbert, Tempe, Phoenix, and on and on and on. And from that, we were actually donated a air compressor to fill up our air packs for our fire gear from the Mormon Fire District. So to answer the question that I think you started with is, are we a district? We are not. Trust me when I tell you there isn't a week, I would dare say a day in a week goes by that somebody doesn't ask that, or Lavona at the firehouse doesn't send someone to give us a call. We're working with the monasteries trying to get a school started out off a different road. We met with a building supervisor to help give them an adequate assessment on what they need for some fire coverage for safety and protocol. So we're very busy. This started out as, hey, let's get a truck and see what we can do to help. And here we are a year later with 14 folks in front of a county board meeting. I didn't even know these existed, so forgive me. But at the same time, we have had an outpouring of support. We have volunteers that live on every east-west road, whether it be Kelvin, Cactus Forest, Bartlett, or Paisano. So we have guys scattered amongst those east-west cross streets. And we've even, I believe his name is Jim Allen with the county building inspector. He lives in Valley Farms, and they have no fire protection. So we've kind of extended it to 6 miles west of 79, 11 miles east of 79, and 20-plus miles up and down 79. So we cover 375 square miles with a 911 call and a whole bunch of people that care. Only because this was done prior to our inception by community people that called their neighbor, or they called a cattle farmer, they called anybody with a trailer and a truck. Fortunately, we met with Supervisor Cavanaugh in August, and he appeared to be a little shocked that we had started this because that was one of his campaign issues. So we felt like we were fulfilling his campaign agenda, and we hadn't even met yet. So he asked, his associate asked that we attend today to answer any question that you guys may have about us. We basically live off donations, and when they approached us and wanted to know what they could do to help, we were free to inform them what we could use. So we submitted a list. I don't know if you folks have. Sorry, I talk with my hands. We submitted a list of all the things that we could use, and you folks graciously considered that. And so I just wanted to take time off work today to come share with you how important this is to all of us that live in that sector. I will tell you that Mr. Chuck Kinnett is the emergency services manager. When we started let's say 16 months ago. He was my only contact at the county and has been a cornerstone of support prior to meeting Mr. Kavanaugh. And the first words out of Chuck Kinnett's mouth was, when are you going to start a fire district? And we hadn't even gotten this thing off the ground. So it's important to us. We do not know how to transition from where we are to get to a district. From what I read online, that's an ominous challenge right now. But we're just trying to do something. Just so you guys have some statistics that may or may not matter, in the last 12 months, we've had 5 house fires, 9 brush fires, and 3 vehicle fires. For a volunteer, who would have came to those had we not been here? Now, I wish I could say that we saved all those with paint and personal effects intact. I will tell you our one big win was a house on Andy Lane, that it was still standing erect, and I would say they got 75% of we were actually able to get it out before it damaged the whole structure. So we feel like we're doing a small part. Our motto is serving our community one call at a time, because that's what we do.